Following the route of medieval pilgrims along the Camino Frances, we walked 135 miles of its most scenic stretches. As beautiful as they were in the summer of 2001, when we first walked them with the Spain adventures, this spring the Camino felt more alive. The road cutting through deep green pastures, wheat fields waving yellow in the wind. And always the surprises. What we learned by walking, then through abandoned villages. Now, the same places reborn, alive. This time, not on our own legs, but on the legs of our children and good friends.
I love the world so soft and light, ingrávidos y gentiles, weightless and gentle in their flight, como pompas de jabón, like soap bubbles drifting
Kind of
past.
felt like I had always been walking and I would always be walking.
Beautiful, beautiful countryside. Just seeing everybody come together and I just love this family. You guys are awesome.
The road is made by walking instead. Al andar se hace camino, by walking the road comes to be. Y al volver la vista atrás and looking back at what you've passed, se ve la senda que nunca. You see the path you walked at last. Se ha de volver a pisar.
So, our first day was gentler, a warm-up walk to a mountain pass near Saint Jean. Then, down into the town, where we wandered and stopped for lunch before the real walking began.
Bajo el cielo azul temblar, beneath blue skies.
Many pilgrims start at this church. We would not. Edie knew the descent from Saint Jean to Roncesvalles as the most dangerous stretch of the whole Camino, steep and exposed. The weather had been cold and rainy. One bad step, she said, and a twisted ankle could end the Camino before it began.
Somewhere, start your little book going, and then we'll meet you up at the highest point up here, and you can decide whether you want to continue or whether we go further.
There is no road ahead. Se hace camino al andar. The road is made by walking instead. Caminante, no hay camino. Pilgrim, there is no road ahead. Se hace camino al andar. The road is made by walking instead. Al andar se hace camino by walking. The road comes to be. Y al volver la vista atrás and looking back at what you've passed, se ve la senda que nunca. You see the path you walked at last. Se ha de volver a pisar a path you'll never walk again. Cuando el jilguero no puede cantar, when the goldfinch has lost its.
The last little bit is a little steep. It's not like California.
At the summit, an iron procession of pilgrims stands frozen, mid-stride, carved into its base a single line, where the path of the wind crosses that of the stars. Pilgrims once followed the Milky Way west, long before there were roads to guide them.
Se hace camino al andar. The road is made by walking instead. Al andar se hace camino by walking. The road comes to be. Y al volver la vista atrás and looking back at what you've passed, se ve la senda que nunca. You see the path you walked at last. Se ha de volver pisar a path you'll never walk again.
Clue number one. It is near a plaza with a church by the name of the saint whose city we are winding up in.
Buen camino.
Ok, chicos, ¿me pueden dar ahí los cambiar hoy churros? Arriba y que pa. Honestly.
Action. Yeah. To Camino. Yeah. Camino the right way. Yeah. Camino my way. Camino the right way.
Purim, 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 Lamo, Pesach, Pesach, a la mano, las masas están haciendo, los yabraquises están cociendo. Aman, 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 el Dios bendito nos da más sal. Aman, 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 el Dios bendito nos da más sal.
Buen camino. Action. Buen camino.
Purim, 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 Lano, Pesachos, aman, 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 el Dios bendito nos da más sal. Aman, 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 el Dios bendito nos da más sal. Purim, 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 Lano, Pesach, Pesach, a la mano el Señor Rubí, dijo a las tías, no comer el pan 8 días. Aman, 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 el Dios bendito nos da más sal.
Buen camino.
Aman, 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 el Dios bendito nos da más sal. A la mano el Señor Rubí, dijo a las tías, no comer el pan 8 días.
Show me the skies, Jeff. Show me the skies. Wow. Amazing.
Sammy for Sammy's documentary. Ooh, yeah.
El Dios bendito nos da más sal.
made it.
We made it, yes. Oh, you're filming. Yeah, I gotta film. Of course. How are you, Mama? Mwah.
Naomi's beautiful. Just driving through the streets of Leon. We're proud of
I learned how to do it, like, to get the whole scene. This is pretty.
Oh,
Yeah. Are you okay? You can take it.
I'm so crestfallen.
Chris is wearing open-toed sandals. We warn him. Bloody toes and blisters. It's fine, he says.
El trigo entre las flores, amarillo a la amapola, y yo allí a mis dolores, dolores Lolita Lola.
Are you having second thoughts?
Okay, great. Yes? Well, sorry. 4.9 miles. Okay?
A los pisos de mi cara le voy a poner un candado, por no ver la cosa rara de ese niñato chalao.
Catedral de Astorga.
Por no ver la cosa rara de ese niñato chalao que te apunta y no dispara. Poropopom, poropom, poropom, pero, poropom, poropom, pero, poropom, poropom, pom.
Edie meant to show us a Maragato farm museum. We found guitars instead of plows, a pop music foundation run by Alex Cooper, an old Spanish rock star. Yeah, I got it, yeah. Driving ahead, we meet the Galician cow, clearly in charge, stopping traffic cold so her herd can cross to the next field. Later, the pilgrims admire the same herd grazing peacefully with no idea what it took to get them there.
Is it Kukeri Moo? Kukeri Moo! Coach, how many miles?
3.87. 3.48.
Boots on the old stone, dust on the hill. I left with my father, he left it again. Names in my pocket, rain in my sleeve. I carry the graves and the ones who believe. One step
starbird shouted,
Ahoy! And there was my mother sitting on a board.
Don't be ridiculous. A boy is a juvenile male.
No, a boy that guides a ship to sail. Oh, yo, ho, ho, the wind blows free. Oh, for the life of the rolling sea. My
Tell me
mother
what? No.
then,
Tell me what
has become of my children. My mother then, she asked of me. One was exhibited as a boxing fish, and the other was served on a cake.
Fuensabadon was a ruin in 2001. Today, pilgrims walk into a town alive again. Albergues, cafes, bars, voices.
Camino stones, lead me home. Camino stones, I walk, Camino stones. Call me on, Camino stones. We walk as one. When my knees grow heavy and my throat turns dry, I hear the first voices coming down the line. My mother before me, my children ahead. A river of footsteps through the living and dead. Camino stars, lead me home. Camino stars.
Le di il gusto, il capriccino.
I walk, Camino stones. Call me on. Camino stones. We walk as one. Camino stones. Lift us high, Camino stones. To the sky.
Yeah.
We have Frank and Julie here on the Camino, and they found one of the luckiest things in the world. It is a 4-leaf clover. In the rain? Easy, gorgeous. I'm told this is not rain, this is just low clouds. Hey Julie, what's this one?
This one is
Yeah.
Foxglove.
What is it? Foxglove. Ooh,
Do you know
very
what you
cool.
get from Foxglove?
Warm hands?
Digitalis.
Ooh, what do you do with that?
Well, you can either use it as a poison or cure.
Ooh.
Alright.
Which one do you choose?
For extension of the ankle.
So give me now. Buen camino.
Feels like I did a lot more than 12, so yeah.
Walking down Camino Santiago, as one does on any normal Thursday afternoon. And there's this beautiful old 17th century cross, and all of our compatriots are just walking right by it, one after another. They're just walking. They're just walking. And I'm like, hey guys, nothing. Somebody had to take a picture of the cross.
Chris, what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about if these Eurasian chupacabras subsist solely on Judge Wig's mushrooms here in the forest. We do have an awful lot of them, and there is a lack of goats in the area, which would also be indicative of Eurasian chupacabra activity. So I think it's time for our cryptozoologist to chime in.
So as we were saying before, the chupacabra is particularly fond of this white mushroom here, as you can see right here. It's called the lawyer's wig mushroom. And chupacabra subsist almost exclusively on this, which is why you don't really see them in other regions of Spain, because the mushrooms are not there. That's why we have them right here. And yeah, lovely animal, lovely. Comes out at night, has big teeth, giant claws, and likes to, in particular, it likes to kill pilgrims when they go off to a different trail. And here's one right there. You can kind of see the eyes poking out a little bit if you zoom in.
Go for it. There you go.
Quiet in the set.
Where our fathers walked, colors of the road caught soft on the brush. 25 years and the road still calls. We answer it now in the quiet and the rush. Who'll say onward, Santiago calls. Who say upward, beyond these.
High fives, hugs, and kisses as our pilgrims emerge from the shadow of the arches.
Congratulations.
They look up at the towers rising majestically above them. The plaza opens up before them. Pilgrims, some sitting, some standing, in awe of the cathedral towering over the plaza below. I am still rolling, but I am remembering too. Tired legs, blistered feet, long ago, limping but joyful, proud but humble. Chris is joyful too. He made it in his own terms. Well, almost. He had wanted to go barefoot. Sandals were a compromise. Passports out. Stamps on full display. 135 miles, page by page. After the queue, the cathedral. Gregorian chants filling the space. While Fran and I stay for Mass, the others queue for the Compostela, a different kind of certificate, this one with hundreds of years of history.
To Edie, our wayfinder, the person who led us all the way down this journey. So much style and planning, except for the music museum.
Thank you.
And now, finally, to our friends and family who joined us on this amazing trip. Thank you so much. It's something I will remember for the rest of my life. You do too.
I got an original.
The highlight of my Camino was after all of the miles and the cold and the heat and the aches in my feet and my toes, which started bleeding on the last day, was coming into the cathedral, broken, and to be able to receive reconciliation and then Jesus in the Eucharist during the Mass, and just feeling like I was at home, I was at peace. That, to me, was the highlight, the pinnacle of my Camino.
One of the highlights of my trip was climbing through the rain and cold up to O Cebreiro, I think it was called. Yeah, and just the mists surrounding us, and we were about halfway through the trip, I think, and it just kind of felt like I had always been walking, and I would always be walking.
Beautiful, beautiful countryside. Just seeing everybody come together and I just love this family. You guys are awesome.
Sorts. We met because of the Camino, and here we are 25 years later, same people, but different somehow. And it's wonderful to see the growth and the change, and watching this group become a real group. Even though they're all related, you still get to learn something new every time. And this is my 31st Camino, and each and every time I learn something new, and especially with this family. So thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Todo pasa y todo queda. Everything passes, nothing stays. Pero lo nuestro es pasar. But our fate is to walk this way. Pasar haciendo caminos, to pass through making roads as we go. Caminos sobre la mar, roads across the sea's endless flow. Nunca perseguí la gloria, I never sought the glory or fame, ni dejar en la memoria, nor long to leave behind my name. De los hombres mi canción, my song was never meant to last. Yo amo los mundos sutiles, I love the world so soft and light. Ingrávidos y gentiles, weightless and gentle in their flight. Como pompas de jabón, like soap bubbles drifting past. Caminante, no hay camino. Pilgrim, there is no road ahead. Y al volver la vista atrás, and looking back at what you've passed, se ve la senda que nunca. You see the path you walked at last. Se ha de volver a pisar a path you'll never walk again.